While the Subaru is a great adventure vehicle, it does have one downside. Because of its smaller footprint, we have to pack it pretty tightly, especially when we're going on multi-day or week-long adventures, which often means that back there, I can't see anything. When I look in my rear view mirror, all it is all the gear we have packed up. And to fix this, there's only one real solution, and that's replacing our factory rear view mirror with something a little bit different. Bringing our Subaru to the modern age of electronics, and while also updating it in the process, adding something that almost is required these days on the roads. And well, that is a dash cam and also a rear view mirror with a camera. Not only does this solve our issue with being able to see out the back of a Forester when we're loaded up for adventures, but adds a ton of new features that honestly, a 2004 Subaru would never get in the first place. What features besides, well, a rear view mirror with a 4K dash cam and a 1080p reverse camera? Well, you're just gonna have to see as we install this Pelsee mirror dash cam. Well, what are we gonna need for this install? Well, first of all, we're gonna need the S12 Pro. This is pretty much all you need for your dash cam, which makes it really easy and smooth to install. Obviously, we're gonna be adding a camera and reverse camera, so we have to add a few more things. First and foremost, as well, the reverse camera, as well as the wiring harness. On top of that, you'll need your power cable. I will be using it off a USB right now, but we will be probably hardwiring it in the future once we get there, as well as the included GPS components, mounting parts, which comes with an SD card, and of course, trim tools. Lots and lots of trim tools. On top of that, because we're adding the reverse camera, we do need to tap into some of the factory wiring. So we will be also using some of our wire cutters as well, and some shrink wrap to get it all wrapped up. If you're doing the hardwire kit as well, you would also need it for that. But as I said, we'll be using it on the most factory or basic setup for now. And the first part of the install is, well, the easiest. You pretty much just take it with these rubber kind of mounts. Make sure that you get it kind of over top your factory mirror here. Make sure your camera lens is, well, out of the way, and then just simply mount it up so that it sits on your mirror here and you're ready to go. With that said, I'm not going to be peeling this yet because there's a ton of different features we're going to go through a little bit later, but we do have a little bit of wiring, and well, we got to go ahead and hide all of our wires for, well, the GPS, the backup camera, and the power. So we're going to be doing that before we go ahead and start playing with this. With the mirror attached, we can go ahead and start connecting everything. The first thing we're going to be connecting is, well, pretty easy, and it's something that I feel like every dash cam probably has these days, and it's going to be a GPS sensor. Not only does it tell you your speed, but it also tells you the location of where everything is being recorded in case you ever need that. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and put it somewhere up here up front. And well, I think the easiest way is to be running it up our A-pillar here, because this guy pops off nice and easy, real easy. And we'll run the cable in the headliner up here, and then simply plug it in right here and stick this guy to the dash. That should give us a nice clean run where this isn't sticking out anywhere and we have no cables hanging out. With the GPS wire ran along this A-pillar and up to the mirror, we're going to leave this A-pillar off for a little bit, and we'll leave this plastic off because we're going to be running lots of wires. So the next wire we'll be doing is power, and it will depend on if you're hardlining it or using this USB jack. It does change the features, mostly the park. So I'll probably eventually be hardwiring it, but for this demonstration, well, we're going to be using this. That means that we can go ahead, we'll plug this in up to the mirror here, run it again along the mirror, down here, and then we'll actually go ahead, pop off of this little bit of trim here, run the wire down and under the dash right to my cigarette lighter splitter, because I have a lot of different power outlets here, and we can just plug it in here and, well, hide our wire probably right under this corner. Now, if you just wanted a forward-facing dash cam, well, you'd be good to go. Unfortunately, we still have a little bit of work ahead of us, and, well, the hardest part. As we go ahead and we'll install the rear camera here. The rear camera is going to need a little bit of wiring from, well, the front mirror all the way along here up into the rear hatch. That's going to have us use a few techniques to get the wire along. That includes pulling the door seals here, feeding it through the headliner, eventually getting into the grommets on the hatch before connecting our camera, and eventually the reverse light. Here at the back, running it through the headliner, we have our cable, which means we can go ahead and start to think where we want this. So there's a couple different options. There is some people that put these cameras outside. That said, I think the best spot is right here on the third brake light. It does come with some nice 3M tape. You could put screws in it. I'm not that particular. I'm going to just 3M tape it and mount it like right here. That also means that we got to go ahead, wire this guy into probably this panel right here, kind of snake our wires in under the third brake light. And then the hard part is bringing in the rest of the cable into the factory grommet right here and then connecting it all together before we go ahead and figure out how to tap into our reverse light so it has a reverse light signal. After fighting with the wire to get it through the factory grommets and make it as clean as possible, pretty much hiding all the wire, and then tapping into our reverse light to give the dash cam a reverse signal, knowing when to switch cameras, we have the wiring for the rear camera all done, which means before we go ahead and put all of this back together, we want to go ahead and test it, because if I got to trace a line or something after it's all put together, it's going to be a little bit annoying. So let's go ahead, take that peel off the front, and go fire up the dash cam for the first time. And well, back in the front of the car, we can go ahead and we'll do the satisfying peel. Wow, it's nice because it does look like just a mirror as well. So when I don't have a lot in the back, I can still go ahead and use it just like a normal mirror. That said, a much bigger mirror. Hopefully, as we turn on the key, it should turn itself on and be good to go. Look at that. It is working, so at least we got power.
Recording started.
And I guess it's recording, so that must be good. And it looks like, actually, we have the rear camera going, so it's like my mirror. Although, with the hatch open, it doesn't make a lot of sense right now. Everything's all over. But that's good, because we should be actually getting it. Let's see. Okay, we do have the front camera as well. You can rotate it. Okay, there we go. We got the dash cam all set up as well. Just that easy. Can we zoom out? Oh, we can tilt it up and down. Okay, cool. We have the working dash cam. I'm curious if we go ahead, put it in reverse. And with everything working as it should, it's time to go ahead and, well, put all of our plastic trim back together before we put it to a test. And of course, first things first, like everything these days, it has an app. So with the Wi-Fi on, we can go ahead and connect to it. And it does show us, well, the best thing is you can download the files right from there. You're also able to go ahead and look at settings, change settings, as well as see a live camera. Don't know why you need that, but I guess it's kind of cool if you needed it for some specific reason. And well, besides the backup camera, that is super handy, and the main reason we installed this, it does have some additional features, and they call them Smart Driving Assist. And well, of course, they're not going to be like Subaru's self-driving mode. We'll see what they can do, especially on something that is from 2004. First, we do have to go ahead and calibrate them, but then outside of that, they have some stuff called forward collision warning, pedestrian collision warning, lane departure, as well as when the front vehicle starts moving. It does say it's going to reduce that front camera quality to 2.5K. They also have lane change assist, which I have no clue how that's going to work with only a front and rear camera. But again, we'll have to give it a go and see how it works.
And of course I cropped this in to remove the GPS data, but at 2.5K, the quality is still pretty good and it's crystal clear. I am finding the 1080p camera on the rear a little bit softer than the front, but it's still definitely usable. The blind spot indication actually works really well, although I couldn't get the detection for cars moving ahead of me to work, but it could be just because of the conditions. And then at night, the camera is still pretty clear. I am noticing some glare off of my radio and the windshield, which could be probably fixed with the CPL filter. And even with the lights off, it's got a pretty good sensor for picking up light. Although the rear sensor could use a little bit of work for a night.
And there we go. We can finally see out of the rear view mirror of our Subaru Forester. Not in a conventional sense, but with a little bit of technology, we're able to do it again. Huge shout out to Pelsee for being able to hook me up and get the Forester set up for our ventures. We will be testing it through our ventures, so you'll see it on all of our trips going forwards, and you'll probably hear me comment about things here and there regarding it, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Let me know if you'd install one of these on your Subaru build, or you just have a better view out of your rear view mirror. And with that being said, while you're down there, don't forget to check out, Flat for Off-Road for all your Venture Subaru needs, as well as a channel membership for some exclusive perks. And I'll be seeing you guys on the next snowy winter adventure.